Welcome back to the Journey Home. Our guest tonight is Eric Sammons, and I didn't mention this earlier, but he's the Director of Evangelization for the Diocese of Venice, Florida. So we're definitely going to be talking about evangelization later, but I'm even seeing as you tell your story that in a way the Lord was preparing you almost to know from experience.
That's right.
The situation of those that are outside the church,
right,
and the barriers you have to get through.
That's right.
To get them to hear
right.
the beauty of the fullness
of the church. And when I talk about evangelization, often I talk about my own experience, how I was evangelized by Catholics, and what the barriers are you have to overcome.
Yeah. Well, the riding in the car with you were the lone Protestant in the car.
Yes, that's right. And so I did come to the realization that I was going to at least look into actually becoming Catholic. I felt I had gotten to the point where, really, the Lord had gotten me to the point where I realized this is something I should consider. And so I told myself, I'm going to pray a rosary once a day for a week.
Did you know how?
No. But my roommate was great. Nate Schley is actually a professor at Hillsdale College now. And he would leave out in his room a pile of these plastic rosaries and booklets on how to pray the rosary. And we're the only two people in the room, so he would just do that and kind of point to him every once in a while. So I knew I could figure it out if I had to. And it really was, but one of the reasons I decided with the rosary is because I saw I could witness the power of the rosary in others' lives. I remember I was involved in the pro-life group. We would go to and pray in front of abortion clinics, and the Catholics would always be praying the rosary, and I would notice such a great peace in them when this would happen. Like a lot of times when pro-abortion people would come, they would yell and scream at us and things like that. I would get very agitated. And I'd want to argue with them. I'd want to maybe even attack them with words, of course, but I'd want to try to argue with them. But the Catholics usually would be praying a rosary, and they would just keep their mouth shut, and they would be totally at peace. I remember one time especially, there was this a girl in the group, a Catholic girl, and this young man was just screaming at her, yelling blasphemies at her and everything.